Veterans often grapple with their memories of war. Some vets, however, are finding ways to use those hardships to help others, and in ways you might not expect.
I bled in dirt holes, and with these guys, you're all there together, and you kind of join a family that's forever.
Lloyd Blair is a Marine who served in the Iraq War. He founded Veteran Barbers for Veterans, a charity that trains vets to become barbers and also gives free haircuts and shaves to former servicemen.
Maybe a haircut could change their look on life to want to take that next step.
Lloyd hopes to expand his charity nationwide and even built a mobile barbershop so he can travel to those who can't make the trip.
We need to back these heroes and let them know there are people that care about them.
The founder of the Stars and Stripes Brewing Company also hopes to make a difference with his patriotic establishment, which gives a portion of its proceeds to veteran organizations. The brewery's founder, Brad Nato, is a former Marine and was one of the first units deployed to Iraq.
One of their mottos is Semper Fi, which means always faithful. So we were able to incorporate that into the IPA. So Semper Fi PA is our flagship.
The Stars and Stripes Brewery officially opened to the public in November 2018.
I think that the business is going to be very successful. We have a lot of people that are rooting for us. But yeah, I'm still nervous. It's a different chapter.
Over in Kentucky, retired Army Sergeant Jeremy Harrell started a new chapter of his own after founding a group called Veterans Club.
I felt like I didn't fit in anymore. I felt like I couldn't acclimate back to the civilian sector. And it's no way to feel, right? Because you've done an honorable thing and you served your country well. There's no reason you should feel lonely outside of that. And so I thought the best way to do that was get veterans connected with one another, because the bonds that are created are second to none.
Then, Jeremy had an encouraging experience. He attended a horse therapy program in Kansas. It inspired him to start his own horse program to help other vets struggling with PTSD.
To watch them loosen up and to get closer and closer to the animal, but also to have conversations with one another that they may not feel comfortable having conversations with in a different environment. It's been really eye-opening watching the transformations of veterans from one session to the other. I've had guys say they haven't felt so relaxed in 5 years since they redeployed from Afghanistan. I've had guys from Vietnam era say they haven't slept as good as they have. I mean, you're talking 40 years ago. But when they get home, I want them to live. I want them to enjoy life. I want to be a part of the initiative to stop the 22 veteran a day suicide rate. And if that can be enough to take a burden off solely for an afternoon, that would be good for me. I just want to help any way I can, and this right now is the best way that I know how to help.
Reporter Julie Dolan shares more about horse therapy and the impact it's had on the veterans in Jeremy's program. All right, can you talk a little bit about how Jeremy Harrell's horse program works, or why exactly horse therapy helps people with PTSD?
Yeah, well, there's really not a whole lot of information if you Google it online, and there's not a lot of research done on this topic to know that, scientifically this works. Sergeant Jeremy Harrell said that when you go first pick out a horse, you connect with them on a level. He said when he sees these veterans pick the horse in the pasture, they often pick a horse that mimics their personality. So they're already connecting on that level. And then when they bring them in and they start grooming them and talking to them and exercising them, he said you create a level of trust with a big animal. And it also gives them a sense of leadership that they may have lost when they left the battlefield and they came back thinking, I don't have that with my family anymore. I don't have that in the professional world anymore. And they start gaining confidence through this. He said that it sounds kind of cheesy, but they get to talk to the horse and share their story with the horse. But the reality is, Jeremy says, you need to talk about it. And that's the only way to move forward. And he said, horses are great listeners, and he said it's inexplainable unless you've gone through it, but he said it truly helps. So, you can't not believe them. If there are 85 veterans already who've been helped, then, I don't know how much more research you need.
And those that have attended Jeremy's program seem to swear by it. We noticed a lot of testimonials on the Veterans Club Facebook page.
I don't think Jeremy has had one negative response from this program. So many of these veterans have come out of their shells and they've thanked him and said, I actually can spend time with my family again and enjoy my family and feel like, I'm the leader of this family. And mind you, they're going once a month. So it's not like this is some invasive therapy where they're talking to, a therapist twice a day. I mean, they're just experiencing nature. Everybody who's gone through it wants to come back, and not just come back, but tell their friend to join too.
Is there anything else that you want to add or things that you think viewers should know?
So in Kentucky, there are over 300,000 veterans, which is almost 10% of the adult population in Kentucky. So there are tons. And it's important for the whole country to realize that we're sending these soldiers off to war to fight for our freedom. And then they have to come back and then go to a 9-to-5 job. Well, a lot of them just can't do that. They've experienced something that really most of us just see in the movies. So these programs allow them to get that healing, and from people they trust, from their fellow veterans, somebody who can say, yeah, man, there's hope on the other side. People like Jeremy who are starting the conversation and reaching out to them are the heroes among them. So I just think these programs are so important for the people who sometimes go unnoticed, until Veterans Day. And we say, oh, thank you, one day a year, but really they need help year round. And that's what this program will do.
If you'd like to learn more about these vet-centered businesses, join our Facebook group, Conversations from the Middle. I'm Alexandra Stone, and this has been your Weekly Dispatch. What stories in your town do you want dispatches to explore? Let us know in the comments below.